of Defense Pete Hegseth is sharing this social media post just moments ago saying, quote, "Earlier this morning on President Trump's orders, I directed a lethal kinetic strike on a narco-trafficking vessel, and no U.S. forces were harmed in the operation. The strike was conducted in international waters just off the coast of Venezuela, while the vessel was transporting substantial amounts of narcotics affiliated with designated terrorist organizations in the U.S. Southcom area of responsibility. 4 male narco-terrorists aboard the vessel were killed in the strike.
22 supersonic missiles, 24 attack boats, 1 destroyer standing in their way. At 3:41 a.m., Venezuela launched what should have been an unstoppable swarm. But the USS Arleigh Burke wasn't just waiting, it was calculating, networked, layered with defenses most navies can only dream about.
Headed to America to poison our people. Our intelligence, without a doubt, confirmed that this vessel was trafficking narcotics. The people on board were narco-terrorists, and they were operating on a known narco-trafficking transit route. This is the video that he shared from his post, and you can see what appears to be a vessel exploding in flames. You can also see the word unclassified. These strikes will continue until the attacks on the American people are over. And part of his social media post included this, some video, apparently, of what just happened. Now, this is courtesy of Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth.
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
To South America now, and the rising tensions between the U.S. and Venezuela. Officials in Washington sending several U.S. warships to the southern Caribbean, and now there are growing questions about what it's all for. Break it into pieces and steal its riches. That rhetoric in response to a major development from the Pentagon, mobilizing U.S. Navy warships and thousands of personnel off Venezuela's coast. In Venezuela's capital, leader Nicolás Maduro putting his military on display, accusing the United States of preparing an invasion.
Colonizar a Venezuela.
Maduro saying the U.S. wants to colonize Venezuela.
The question, how did a single ship defeat a naval storm designed to overwhelm it? By the end of this breakdown, you'll understand the mechanics of Aegis, ESSM, and SM-6 in a way that makes those 15 minutes one of the clearest lessons in modern sea warfare. How can a single ship shoot down 22 supersonic missiles coming in all at once? That's the puzzle. At the edge of Venezuelan waters, coastal batteries triggered a wall of anti-ship missiles while fast attack craft gunned their engines toward the tanker's position. 2 threats converging, one from above the sea, one at sea level. Most fleets facing this mix would crack.
I'm Christine Frizzau in Washington, where there appears to be an escalation in the strategy by the Trump administration to fight back against drug cartels inside Venezuela. Up to this point, U.S.-led attacks on so-called drug boats from Venezuela have taken place in international waters, and that could include attacks on the ground following weeks of a military buildup in the region.
Think about the math. 22 inbound targets, each howling just meters above the waves, traveling faster than sound, while 24 boats dart at attack speed. Every second a ship spends recalculating is a second closer to impact. One leak in that net, and a $10 billion tanker goes under with its cargo lost. This is exactly why navies fear saturation strikes. Human operators can't keep pace when the air and water fill with tracks. But the Venezuelan model leaned on raw numbers, volume over precision. Their swarms became a storm front of steel, betting that one hit was enough. The Arleigh Burke countered with something else entirely. Not bigger guns. Not more missiles. A network defense, each system tied through the Aegis combat system, responding as one organism instead of scattered pieces. That's the real difference. The attackers were a mob, the destroyer was a machine. It starts with the Spy-1 radar, a slab-sided phased array set into the superstructure, always on, electronically steering its beams. While a conventional spinner might scan one slice of sky at a time, Spy-1 maps everything at once. Hundreds of tracks, high or low, crisscrossing. It can spot a sea skimmer trying to hide behind the horizon, lock it, and keep it tagged even when dozens of others crowd the display. That radar feeds the mind of Aegis. Inside the Aegis architecture, detection isn't the end, it's the start of a cycle. Algorithms assign priorities immediately. Which missile flies fastest, which missile threatens the tanker first, which one sits just outside intercept range. Each incoming track becomes part of a rolling queue. Weapons are assigned without delay, fired, and then reassigned again. That loop keeps repeating until the sky is clear. Humans supervise. The software fights. When the first missiles crossed into range, the mid-tier defense took charge. Evolved Sea Sparrow missiles left their cells, climbing fast before curving low to meet the sea skimmers. These interceptors ride constant radar guidance, pushed each second by fresh updates from Spy 1, flexing course mid-flight to stay on target. The odds of a kill stay high because they correct right up until contact, almost like a boxer slipping in real time to meet a punch. But the Burkes carry another card, the SM-6. That missile extends reach far past what most attackers plan for. By punching out threats at long distance, it clears breathing room. Those intercepts happen before the swarm can compress into a lethal knot. So while ESSMs handle the middle and close fights, the SM-6 stretches the dome outward, cutting down risks of overload. Each layer buys seconds. Each layer thins the count. The effect builds into a fortress at sea, long-range SM-6, mid-range ESSM, then close iron walls of CIWS and CRAM. CIWS sprays tungsten at final approach, CRAM launches mini-missiles when the range collapses. Together it means no single avenue stays open. The moment one attacker finds a crack, another layer covers it. This overlapping web is why the destroyer survived where most vessels would drown in fire. And yet a storm of 22 is still a storm. Explosions lit the horizon as SM-6 intercepts triggered beyond visual range. ESSM scored kills closer in, detonating sea skimmers before they could dip below the wave fronts. Radar screens kept ticking down numbers, shrinking from 22 to 15, 15 to 6. Finally, a single inbound missile broke through the outer defenses. It powered toward the tanker, only to slam into the ocean hundreds of meters short, harmless but a reminder that no defense is perfect. The bulk of the missile assault was over. Layers held. The tanker lived another minute. But what happens when, at that same minute, 24 boats roar closer from the surface, racing in at near-suicidal range? One destroyer. Dozens of threats. The fight off Puerto Cabello proved that numbers alone no longer decide who dominates at sea. Swarms of missiles, boats, even fighters, all stripped of their edge by one platform wired into a defense web. Technology didn't just stop the strike, it rewrote the logic of swarm warfare. Radars, interceptors, and algorithms erased Venezuela's gamble of mass and bravado. The seas don't belong to whoever launches first, they belong to whoever builds, sustains, and commands the defense net. Subscribe and join a community that breaks down how modern conflict is fought and won.